Welcome to Scale Model Workshop. Most of my models are displayed as single pieces rather than in a large display cabinet. If dust's an issue, then I need to have some sort of display case for the model. I usually start thinking about dust when I'm getting down to the final stages of construction. In this video, I'll explain how I build a simple acrylic display case using the Revell 72nd PT boat as an example. Internally, this case measures 15 inches in length, 5 inches in width, and 5.5 inches tall. Since the case isn't very large, I used 1/8" acrylic. For larger cases, I'll use something a little thicker like 5/32 or 3/16. Depending on your resources, you can cut the acrylic yourself or have it cut for you. If you're going to have the pieces cut for you, I recommend speccing out exactly how you want them cut. So no matter which way you go, you need to figure the exact size you need for your pieces. When I design a case, I like to have the viewing side be continuous. In this example, the internal length is 15 inches. Since the acrylic is 1/8 inch, the front and back need to be 15.25 by 5.5. The sides will be 5 by 5.5, and the top will need to be 15 by 5.25. Since I always cut the pieces myself, I'll first run through that stage. I start with a piece cut to 15.25 by 24. I cut 3 pieces 5.5 inches wide, which is the height. From one of the pieces I cut 2 5-inch pieces for the width of the case, and the leftover pieces cut to a width of 5.25 for the top. The best way to cut acrylic sheets on a table saw with a blade specifically designed for plastics. Nowadays, most all saw blades have carbide tips. While all my wood blades are carbide, in full disclosure, when I started working with acrylic sheet, carbide wasn't as common, so I started with this blade, which is what I still use today. I get very smooth cuts, and I never have a problem with chipping or any of the other problems I read about. I'm sure someday I'll have to make a change, but for now, it's still working great. No matter what blade you're using, I would highly recommend that you use that blade exclusively for plastic. Once the pieces are cut, I go over the edge with a few passes of 120 or 180 grit aluminum oxide paper to remove any saw marks. I know some people use a router for this, but again, my cuts are so smooth it's easier and cleaner with sandpaper. The protective material is removed and the case is first assembled with masking tape. When everything's basically together, give the case a try over the base just to make sure. I like to get things pretty well lined up, especially the 4 inside corners. Once they're as good as I can get them, I'll tack them together with a little cement. 2 of the more common cements used for acrylic are Weld-On number 3 and number 4. Number 4 sets faster, and it's what I use for initial assembly. Next, I adjust the bottom corners and glue up the rest of the case. I usually just use a syringe with the needle bevel cut off, but there are small plastic bottles with needle applicators available. Once the glue's set, the tape's removed and it's done. Any tape residues easily removed with mineral spirits and a soft cloth. I usually give the case a bath with warm water and dishwashing detergent. Acrylics easily scratch, so stay away from coarse paper towels. I hope this video has given you a few ideas for the next time you need a case for that magnum opus build. So long for now, and I'll see you next time.